Lovely people, welcome to another edition of Sexy Sundays, where we answer your questions about sex, relationships, spirituality, and
masturbation. Yay.
What's in your hand there?
Oh, I'm still talking about the last one, so we'll
yeah.
stay with
the
little knife.
What about sex, babe?
Sex too.
Okay.
Okay. You already said sex. I like to shift it up, change it up.
He changes things up.
Watch out. You never know what I'll say next week.
Okay, so we have a question from a lovely lady who's asking, she was thanking us for talking about things that no one talks about. And she said, I'm a bit shy to ask, but this question has been in my mind for so long. What happens if a woman masturbates while being single? Is it a bad thing from a spiritual point of view? And if she thinks of someone while doing it, does it create a cord between those two people? Since you're in the cord world right now.
I'm going to answer that one first, am I? There is a place where there is no right and wrong. So when we're answering all of these questions, our highest perspective is there's no judgment on any action, because we do not know what is for the highest good of you. So maybe whatever you're doing that may seem like it's not the highest choice may lead you to a higher evolution, an evolution of your soul, a growth. So where we're speaking from is what seems to be best, or what seems to be best from our experience at this point in our lives, and what seems to be a higher vibration or choice. But that doesn't mean anything is wrong.
Follow your hearts.
Follow
your hearts.
Your personal design knows more than anyone.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with masturbation. If that's what your inclination is, beautiful.
If your inclination is masturbation, don't worry or be any. Just let it soothe your frustration.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a rapper that wants to come out.
Not me. I'm a Kansas boy.
There's rap in Kansas, I'm sure.
It's bad rap. It's cow rap.
Oh, yeah.
So, as far as, is there anything wrong spiritually? There actually, in a lot of the traditional teachings, they suggest to, it's not suppression, it's an evolution of your relationship with sex. So to elevate and arrive to working with your sexual centers up into the heart center and above. So you're still working down there, you can still play down there, but you're bringing it up the back, down to the heart, up the back, down to the heart. So you can cultivate that sexual energy through masturbation, man or woman, and bring it through up into the head centers, into the heart center. That's one way to address it. And then there's other traditionalists who would say not to go there. So one way, I'm not going to say one way is right or wrong. So no judgment. If that's what you're inclined to, just notice how you feel. If that's aligning for you at this time, perfect. Maybe discover that when that sexual urge comes up, what's behind that? Why is that urge there? What's deeper? What are is that urge there to avoid something else? So it's a deeper, there's an opportunity for a deeper discovery. But that doesn't mean every time you masturbate that there's something that needs to be discovered. It's just open the doorway of discovering something deeper. That's all. The second part of that question...
So does the masturbating while thinking of someone else create a cord between you and that person?
Likely. I'm not going to say absolutely every time, but that's creating a greater likelihood for that cord to be connected. So you want to be conscious with that.
And at the same time, personally, I would say that if there is a strong attraction to somebody, clearly there is if you're masturbating to this person, I would get really clear about what is it about this person that you're really attracted to and drawn to, and recognize that's bringing greater clarity either in terms of the partner you're choosing to draw in, or it's bringing clarity in terms of some part of yourself that's wanting to actualize. I mentioned this in the last video. There's a whole video on this. I just have this very clear understanding that we are drawn together for a reason. There's typically attraction for a reason, and that attraction is karmic, and it's asking for whatever's tucked in our own shadows to be actualized. So if...
you should add that in. You'll put in a note about that one, yeah? That video for people to see.
Oh yeah, I'll just. Yeah.
So,
the main thing I want to say is don't judge yourself. Just let go of any judgment. There's no way to do it right or get it wrong or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like the whole story about, oh my God, if I'm masturbating right now, I'm thinking about this person and it's going to attach a cord and I'm doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Like, so it's just like drop the judgment and relax into the moment and, set a pure intention. My intention is simply to be in the joy and to be in the loving right now and in freedom and liberation and free of cords,
Yeah. And if you're choosing to deepen into your path, then you connect with a guide, a teacher, a guru who really aligns with you, and they'll slowly give you more guidance and direction, but I don't know. There's no but. Just it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Like, seriously,
it's all good.
It's so much simpler than we think.
Yeah. It's all good. So don't. We're not going to get into too much story about that. There's so many ways to go with that.
Yeah, and
somebody asked if you're my husband.
I'm definitely not his husband.
She's not my husband. So I think we cleared that one.
I can't. For some reason, it's not loading right now. I think there were more questions, but we'll leave it
at that.
At that.
And if there's something that we miss this week, we'll answer it next week. Much love to you and to you.
And to you. We love sitting here with you guys and just
fun.
opening the space. It's super fun, and your questions are juicy and divine.
Bring them on.
Ooh,
we're happy to share.
Yeah.
I guess there's another question.
So, with several that also on the same page, I would love to hear your thoughts on. Okay, on the same page, I would love to hear your thoughts on setting loving boundaries, especially with family members, as tactfully as possible.
You want to do that one?
Oh man. Okay.
In 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes.
Okay, so what I have seen in myself and clients and people all around is that at some point along the journey, there's an opportunity to set very clear boundaries between ourselves and the families we were brought up in, because typically as we evolve, we break past the old limitations of what we once were. And if we're being held in a perception that is, the little girl or the little boy that we once were, then there can be it's almost like boulders weighing down the butterfly that just wants to fly. So setting boundaries is extraordinarily important, and the very simple way is to just check in with yourself and be very true to what your needs are at this time. And your needs, my needs, our needs typically change over time. For me personally, I had to cut the cords completely from family for a while as I was going through a deep spiritual transformation. And I was, just very honoring to myself. I moved to the Redwoods. I probably did it a little more drastically than most do it. But, quite simply, it might be mom, dad, whoever. Look, I love you with all my heart. I'm going through a major transformation right now. I want you to know I'm completely okay, and I'm discovering who I am on a much deeper level. So I just ask that you honor my space right now. And I may not be calling often. We may not speak for a month or 2 months or however long, but please know you're in my heart and I love you. And just asking for what you need,
That's great.
Yeah,
that's the way. That's a more of a in the world approach. The traditional sadhu way is you leave your family, because the family keeps us bound. Often will keep us bound into the role that they want us to fill.
Yeah.
So that's not necessary to leave them. But there is a time in our lives where we need to create a little bit of separation.
Yeah. And sometimes a lot of separation. For me, it was a radical goodbye for a while.
Yeah, and that's necessary. So whatever that separation level where you can really discover and claim who you are. And then when you go back, you'll get a really quick cue on where you are, because anything that you're still getting triggered by, the way that they're moving, what they're asking for, and you falling into dishonoring yourself, falling back into the old role, then you know you're not complete yet with that. When you come back into the family and you
just stand in your truth.
Know. You are who you are, whether they stay or not, you have to be willing to let them go is the key.
Yeah. And to totally be yourself and love yourself no matter what, and honor what they are no matter what.
Right. You do that, and if they can't handle that, then it's either you or them. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's it. And there's the whole volume of books on that.
Yeah. We love you.
Many blessings.
Bye.